Warband. The maps redrew themselves overnight. This is Monday, June 15th, 2026. The night did not bring a number or a chart. It brought a treaty. While you slept, the guns fell silent. The most important strait on Earth swung back open. Oil broke off a cliff, and the hardest money on the board caught the updraft. Listen, as of just past 5 Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 65,600, up near 2% on the day, and clawing back hard off the low near 60,000 it tagged earlier this month. Step back and see it whole, roughly half of its all-time high near 126,000, battered through the worst stretch of the cycle, and now firming on real news instead of hope. Ethereum rides beside it at 1,720, up better than 2.5%. Solana ran hardest of the three, up better than 4% to $71. And Tesla closed Friday near 406. Hold that name, I will come back to it. The regime this morning is simple, a geopolitical weight just lifted off every risk asset at once. And the scarce things are the ones breathing deepest. Now the why beneath the bounce, because this is the story that moved every screen overnight. On Sunday, the president declared the deal with Iran complete. A memorandum signed, a formal ceremony set for Friday in Switzerland. The terms are real and they are large. The United States lifts its naval blockade. The Strait of Hormuz reopens to toll-free shipping. Military operations end on all fronts, and in exchange, Iran halts new uranium enrichment and dilutes the stockpile it already holds. Leaders across Europe and the United Nations lined up to bless it within hours. Hear why this lands square in the heart of our thesis. The Strait of Hormuz carries near 20 million barrels of oil a day, 1 in every 5 barrels that crosses the sea. Choke it, and the whole world pays a fair premium at the pump. Open it, and that premium drains in a single session. Crude did exactly that overnight. West Texas tumbled toward $80 a barrel, a 2-month low. And here is the chain that matters to a stacker. Energy was the villain of last month's hot inflation print. Fuel screaming higher on the year. Pull the fear premium out of oil, and you pull the loudest input out of inflation. The single heaviest weight on risk assets this spring just got lighter overnight, and mark the connection the sharpest macro mind on the street already drew. Jordi Visser of 22UFE flagged that very straight, closed since the spring, as a live chokehold on the artificial intelligence build-out itself, strangling the supply of the specialty gases and chemicals the chip factories cannot run without. Its reopening loosens one physical knot in the machine. But hear the limit, Warband. A treaty can reopen a strait. It can drain a fear premium. It cannot vote one more barrel of true scarcity into being, and it cannot conjure one more coin. The deepest bottlenecks, the power, the copper, the hardest money on earth, no signing ceremony in Switzerland touches those. Because here is the catch, the relief rally forgets. Wednesday, the new chairman takes the Federal Reserve for the first time. Kevin Warsh, his first meeting at the head of the table. The market prices near certainty, he holds the rate where it sits. But cheaper oil does not hand him a rate cut. Core inflation still runs above 4%. And the real event is the projection. Whether his own committee now pencils in a hike before the year is out. The prediction desks already price better than a 2 in 5 chance of exactly that. So read it plainly. The geopolitical storm cleared, but there is still no liquidity rescue coming from the soft systems, and the hardest money never needed their permission. The committees and the chairman are the whim of circumstance. 21 million coins are the constant, fixed, indifferent, and beyond any vote. Now hold that word. Committees, because a different set of them just moved, and this time it moves in our favor. This is the Monday I told you to circle. Effective today, SpaceX is fast-tracked into the major equity indexes, and when the opening bell rings this morning, every passive fund that tracks them must buy it. Not because a manager chose it, not because the price is right, because the rules command it. Price insensitive, mechanical, mandatory. Sit with the irony, Warband. The same breed of committee that cannot vote one more coin into being just made owning a slice of orbital scarcity compulsory inside every index fund in the land. The crowd that swears it would never chase the scarce things is about to become a forced buyer of them at the open, whether it understands what it owns or not. Now, hear what the engine market while the treaty crossed the wire, because this is the signal the Warband pays for, and it carried a warning. Through Sunday, the InvestAnswers Decision Support System flagged Bitcoin mean reversion overbought around midday, then flipped its optimized trend bearish by late afternoon. Read that against a price that was rising. The engine is telling you this bounce is stretched. Relief, not yet a confirmed turn. And Solana whipsawed in the very same window, optimized trend bearish at noon, then flipped back trend bullish by Sunday evening. The same hour it ran better than 4%. Tempting, but the tape underneath says caution. Bitcoin dominance still sits near 58%, and the altcoin season gauge still reads 49 out of 100. Far from the 75 that would mark real capital rotating into the speculative names. This is not an altcoin rotation. It is a narrative pop on a day the world exhaled. So take the signal for what it is. Accumulate the scarce thing in pieces into the relief. Demand the turn confirmed before you trust it. And do not chase the candle that runs on a headline. Let the engine ring the bell, not your adrenaline. Now turn to that name I told you to hold. Over the weekend, Tesla pushed a fresh full self-driving build to the entire fleet. And the tell is in what it added. One unified behavior model now runs both the supervised cars and the robotaxi fleet, and a new passenger screen tracks how far the car drives with zero human touch. That is not a feature for drivers. That is a dress rehearsal for taking the human out of the seat entirely. This is the embodiment trade made real. Intelligence climbing out of the chat window and into a machine that moves through the physical world, where it stops being cheap abundance and becomes scarcity that runs on watts and copper. But keep both eyes open, because the honest picture is a tale of two speeds. The software is sprinting. The steel is not yet. The unsupervised robotaxi fleet across Texas still numbers in the dozens against a rival running into the hundreds, and the true unlock, the full architectural rewrite that turns dozens into thousands, is still quarters away, not weeks. The rehearsal is live. The show has not opened. Own the decade, not the demo. So here is the frame, Warband. The night handed you a genuine gift. The guns went quiet, a strait reopened. Oil broke, and the fear premium that has weighed on every risk asset since spring drained out in a session. Take the relief, but do not mistake it for the all clear. There is still no rate cut waiting Wednesday. The engine is flagging the bounce as stretched, and the alts are popping on a headline, not a rotation. So do what the strong hand always does. Accumulate the scarce thing the crowd forgets on a green day. Demand your confirmation, and let the soft systems learn their lesson late. This is Warband as a service. Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. Until the next dawn, sharpen the axes. Skål.